Going. Let's keep going.
Kamala Harris's campaign could be as much as $20 million in the hole. And that's after spending nearly $1 billion during its 107 brief days between launching and the election. Now, there have been many celebrity appearances and performances, but other vendors have yet to be paid, according to multiple reports. Just to recap, the Harris team shelled out $20 million for concerts, $4 million for influencers, and even spent six figures to build a replica of the Call Her Daddy podcast for Harris to sit with an interview with host Alex Cooper.
You know what's so funny? And I don't know if this is an I told you so moment. It's not as obvious of one. So therefore, I'm going to make it one. Some of the other ones that were obvious, I felt like I didn't need to press the gas too much on it. I'm still enjoying the conversations. You want to know why? Part of it, because I want people to be able to come to me and have conversations. And maybe if they're seeing things a little bit differently than they saw before the election, I want people to feel comfortable, because it's not about who's right first, who's the first one to jump out the window and say something, because then people will just be saying a bunch of stuff just to try to be the first person to say it. It's not about that. I want people to be able to come to me just like I've come to people and say, yo, bro, I was wrong about that. Like, I see how you're looking at it. And I don't need you to be rubbing it in my face saying I told you so. However, with this situation, I will say it to Kamala Harris, because we told Kamala Harris. We discussed this. We said, with all the money that she's raising, how simple it would have been to just say, you know what? We're giving $100 million to the people, to give it to a cause, whatever that may be. It doesn't even matter what it is. Just for optics, to be totally honest, it would have been extremely beneficial. She raised over $1 billion. How dope would it have been if she said, you know what? We've raised a significant amount of money. Of course, this money could go into, me doing advertising and pushing the cause. However, I think it's important we're going to take 100 million of these dollars, or 10 million of these dollars, whatever it is, and we're going to give it to these the people that suffered from the hurricane. We're going to give it to these causes. These are our top 5 causes that we've identified, and the things that we want to address when we get in office, hopefully. We're not going to wait till we get into office. We're going to start addressing these issues now. And if she just gave that money away, y'all tell me if that wouldn't have been more valuable than giving 10 million to Beyonce, $1 million to Oprah, 1.8 to Eminem. Like, that 1.8 to Eminem is hilarious to me. I'm so glad that Eminem got more money than Oprah and Meg Thee Stallion. It's just funny to me. It's funny to me for a lot of reasons. I don't even need to share them. But let's keep going.
DNC Finance Committee member Lindy Lee isn't happy about it all, and she is speaking out. Let's watch.
Our top donors have not gotten any sort of briefing or an apology or any sort of explanation as to where our money went.
No apology?
I mean, no one has gotten anything.
So just to be clear, this is a former Kamala Harris staffer. She's blowing the whistle. She's calling it out. I'm sure that the staff is very upset with her, but let's hear what she has to say.
Top donors have not gotten
at all, and she is speaking out. Let's watch. Finance Committee member Lindy Lee isn't having an interview with host Alex Cooper. DNC Finance Committee member Lindy Lee isn't
DNC Finance Committee member
happy about it all, and she is speaking out. Let's watch.
Our top donors have not gotten any sort of briefing or an apology or any sort of explanation as to where our money went.
No apology?
I mean, no one has gotten anything. We haven't gotten any sort of follow-up other than her concession speech.
Have you heard of issues, vendors being paid, not paid, anything like that?
Yeah, I've gotten calls from former staffers who have not gotten paid, and they asked me for help, including people here in Pennsylvania. And this is for work done in August. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah,
so we're $20 million in debt. Someone has to pay that off.
When asked if any money raised is going toward a legal fund to pay for a recount, this was Lee's response.
Some Twitter people are saying that money is going to go towards a recount, but I think that's just Pollyanna's thinking. I don't think that there's any serious effort to have a recount.
Are they just fundraising to pay the debt?
I'm not speaking with the fundraising people right now, so I can't, they're probably upset with me.
President-elect Donald Trump seized on this, taking to X, posting, quote, "I am very surprised that the Democrats who fought a hard and valiant fight in the 2020 presidential election, raising a record amount of money, didn't have lots of money left over. We have a lot of money left over, and that our biggest asset in the campaign was earned media, and that doesn't cost very much." X account Bad Hombre posted on Saturday, quote, "Former Harris Wall staffers now unemployed are reporting that they did not receive their last 2 weeks of pay, which was scheduled for direct deposits into their accounts yesterday." Axios' Alex Thompson posted, quote, "DNC leaders are increasingly anxious about being left with a big bill from Kamala Harris's campaign. Chair Harrison has privately expressed worry the extent of the debt is still unclear."
Before we get to the debt, damn, not paying your staff? Not paying your people? Damn. If I remember correctly, wasn't Donald Trump sued for not paying contractors and all this other stuff? And a lot of people got really mad at him, right? Said that they attacked his character. That was one of the things that they were pushing in 2016 when he was trying to run, and that they were using that to talk about his character. Okay. If that's the case, how do y'all same people feel about Kamala Harris stiffing out her staffers and not paying her team? Should they sue him? I mean, should they sue Kamala Harris? Should they sue the DNC? I don't even know who they sue. How do y'all feel about that? If those were some of the characteristics for Donald Trump that, in y'all opinion, made him disqualified, I should say, to become president, then how do y'all feel about Kamala Harris doing this? How do you feel about her raising over $1 billion and can't even pay her campaign staffers? The same person that was running around repeating Trump's policies on tax on tips and overtime, whatever, just taking Trump's policies, she can't even pay her staff. She can't even pay her staff. Donald Trump, they raised, I think, less than 40% of the amount of money that Kamala Harris's team raised. And Trump said they sitting on a whole bunch. They said they sitting on a whole bunch. It was just earned media. This story keeps writing itself, man. It like, in the words of the legend and late great Kevin Samuels, you can't make this ish up, man.
Rising has reached out to the Harris campaign for comment, but we did not hear back. So there are a couple categories here. We're like donors who are wondering how their money was spent.
Right.
Sorry, you donated money to a campaign. That's just how, and there's a winner and a loser, and
exactly,
that's a little bit of sour grapes. Now, vendors.
Uncle Brother, it's funny that you say that. When Michael Jackson said it, he was talking about the Democrats. They don't really care about us. I have to say that you're right, because let me ask y'all this. If somebody that you know doesn't care about you, do you run around saying they don't care about us? Like, they don't care. Like, if it's already known, like, yeah, they don't care about us, cool. Like, they don't mess with us, cool. It's only a story when it's people that are supposedly acting like they care about us to not care about us. That's how I mean, am I off with that? Because then it goes to the same thing that Malcolm X said. What did he say? He compared the fox and the wolf, right? He said Republicans are like the wolves. You can see a wolf coming. You know a wolf. Hey, be prepared. You know what may come with it. But then he called the Democrats foxes. He said the foxes, their natural faces, that grin, they'll run around you like everything's all good, and then they'll pounce on you. That's what Malcolm X said. So all of this stuff is coming to fruition. I can't even say it was coming to fruition. It was happening then, and it's just continuing to happen now. It's just that for whatever reason, the Democrats, and Malcolm X talked about this, why the comedians, the celebrities, the Democratic Party will always fund the celebrities that the people that they're looking to attract and get support from. They just pretty much finance their celebrities that those people love. So they're going to give money to Beyonce. They're going to give money to Meg Thee Stallion. They'll give money to Cardi B. They'll give money to Eminem. They'll give money to Oprah. They'll give money to The View. Why do y'all like these people? Like, why do people like these people? Like, are we that insecure to where we just like people that are popular? Like, is it really just that? Like, are we that insecure a group of people where we have no principles, no moral compass, no integrity, where all somebody has to do is be popular and we like them? There's no way that y'all just think that Oprah is the greatest person in the world. There's no way you think that Beyonce is just the greatest person in the world, or Jay-Z, or Meg Thee Stallion, or Cardi B. Now, Beyonce may be a little bit more private with her stuff, but I guess we'll see what happens with all these tapes coming out when it comes to Jay-Z and these Diddy parties. Let's keep it moving.
You know, people who do lighting, staging, those kinds of things, they should absolutely be paid. These are working people. The Democratic Party perceives now that it has a problem with working people. This would be no different than if it was the Republican Party or Nexstar Media or any institution. Yeah. You got to pay the people who work for you.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think there are a couple of complications with this story, but the basic fact that obviously people who do a job should be paid, that is not in dispute. The reason that this story, I think, has sort of rampaged down the tracks a little bit, and the 20 million figure seems to be based on a tweet from a Politico reporter, where there are a lot of other sources saying, as we noted in your part of the introduction, that they don't really know what the scale of the debt is yet. There are still bills coming in. There are apparently still donations being processed. So we know that they're somewhat in debt, but we don't know if the 20 million figure is right. Could be smaller, could be larger. All
right, so we're gonna move on. Obviously, that video is a little bit longer. We don't need to. We get the gist of it. We get the gist of it. Let's go back to X. I want to just finish off with this what Stephen A said. And this is the thing with Stephen A. This is what I said. He flip-flops. He goes back and forth. Like, he just doesn't know what he wants to do. He's just trying to play both sides, call out certain groups, act like, but then jump on The View and say, oh, no, you're right. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's just the whole back and forth. Stephen A., his credibility, his integrity to me is not there. But sometimes he says stuff that I agree with. Sometimes it doesn't.
It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.